So tell me, my grandmother, Olive Colburn, was in the Fraternal Order of Police in LaPorte, Michigan City. A William Harmon bludgeoned a girl to death in LaPorte at a convenience store, raped and murdered, and beat the fuck out of her and killed her. Kidnapped her from a store. Now what the fuck other Harmons live in Delphi that Roger Allen Jask followed them to after they shot out his windows? The Harmons, Tommy Harmon, I don't know if he's still alive, but I've heard from a 13% person that's in my DNA, Kevin, that was adopted out, his mother, Marty. I'm starting to talk now, because no one else is fucking talking. I did my DNA, GED, ancestry, and all that out of my pocket for Delphi, and I'm not getting no answers. I want some goddamn answers about who I fucking came from, if he's even my father, Dennis Harmon, bridge guy. I'll give a fuck what anybody on here on YouTube has to say. I'm talking to law enforcement. This goes back farther than just Delphi. This goes back to Delphi 1975. Okay, what the fuck happened that Roger Allen Jask, his window was shot out. He was framed for my uncle's murder. Whenever I find out that the Harmons murdered Jeffrey because he knew something too much. Heroin, fucking drugs. There's drugs involved in Delphi. There's drugs involved in Linda Weldy. There's drugs involved in also the Evansdale, Delphi. I want to know some motherfucking answers, man. I mean, I have a right to know what I'm getting myself into from this tip. I mean, I am kind of out there, which I did it to myself, but it don't matter. I ain't going to sit back and not get no goddamn answers. I'm going to find somebody that'll get me answers as to why the fuck Indiana ain't doing their goddamn job, FBI or whatever, with this Delphi case, and get me answers about whenever I was a kid, who the fuck bridge guy, Dennis Harmon, bad guy, big nose motherfucker, my father, the one that I used to call Dad. I would know my dad, and his voice is on YouTube, Dennis Harmon, talking about his fifth wheel travel trailer, the pictures, the text of my son stating that they did it, pictures of my dad in the same clothes, the sale of a house at 4490 Pleasure Ridge Road, Southeast Court in Indiana, the sale of that house, the pictures in that house are the same clothes he wore in the Delphi murders 5 years later. Go check the fucking information out on Connie Cope, K-O-E-P-K-E, Harmon, his sister. That's who's went to fucking court every time Roger Allen Jask goes up for a parole hearing. Well, I'm going to his next parole hearing because I'm going to show where it might not be admissible about the failed lie detector. He passed 2 lie detector tests. But I'm going to find out the fucking truth for this man too, because he's done 46 years, possibly because of what Dennis Harmon and what you guys are covering up about the Harmons, about Delphi and their drug dealings and whatever else is involved in Delphi and why the girls was murdered. Maybe, I don't know, let's go out on a limb. Maybe Dennis is trying to get back to people that murdered Jeffrey. Maybe it wasn't him and his brother. Maybe he's trying to get rid of the people that do know that he's the one that had him killed, or the Harmons. Connie Cope Harmon is the one that you need to check out the most. That's who's covering for Bridge Guy. She lives in LaPorte, Michigan City. Now, we got family in fucking Delphi. We probably got family in Couts, Indiana still too, since we started that county. Our family's the Kingston family from my DNA GED match ancestry. I think my DNA tells enough. I want to know who the fuck my real dad was. I want to know if this monster was my dad, and I have a right to at least know that too. So fuck your Delphi case for a minute. I got other fucking questions.